Hello, I'm Nada, and today I'm going to be breaking down a very interesting rank draft that I had recently that highlights some really smart drafting. The goal of this video is going to be to provide you with some of the theory behind drafting, to talk a bit about drafting team comps that work together well instead of just being strong but disconnected parts, and to provide an opportunity to learn a little bit about drafting that you can apply in your own games. So, let's get into this draft. We get into a match on Timber Mill. We know Timber has long sightlines, a difficult push, and a very rotation-heavy point fight. Vertical mobility is strong, and being able to hold the high grounds is very important. Blue team bans Atlas, and red bans Kinessa. Standard so far, Atlas is the strongest off-tank in the game, and Nessa is the only viable sniper at the moment. Blue team then bans Terminus, hoping that red will ban Khan, and blue can take the Ruckus first pick. This is one of Ruckus's strongest maps. Instead, red bans Vakoa. This means that Khan is now open, and blue first picks him. This is pretty smart for red team. They let a Khan go, but that means they don't have to worry about an off-tank and a DPS diving together. They just have to worry about DPS pressure. Knowing this, they take Shaolin, who excels in those 1v1 matchups with DPS, and a Ceres, who's a very strong support on Timber Mill due to her healing range and output. So let's pause for a moment and look at the draft so far. Khan is a strong pick, but he suffers pushing into enemy high grounds, which is why he was let through. Shaw Ceres is a very strong backline that a DPS will have a lot of problems pushing alone. If both teams finish out with a standard comp, that being one main tank, one off tank, one backline DPS, one aggro DPS, and one support, Blue's best option would be Burning Point, since they can't effectively pressure the red backline. However, Ceres means they won't be able to really burn anything until they get caught 3, so that option is kind of out. So, what is Blue Team's solution? They draft Fernando and a Ruckus. Here's why this is good. Shaw likes to fight squishies, but he kind of falls over against tank dive. The Ruckus has mobility to get on top of him, and has enough burst to force the Ceres into stealth. Shaw Ceres can deal with a DPS diving them, but not as much with a tank. Nando is taken as a main tank. Anara would likely be better to avoid falling off as hard into Wrecker late game, but it's good point control early game, especially to contest into a Ceres, because nobody likes contesting early game into a Ceres. So now, blue team is kind of sitting pretty. Red's plan of, we're going to sit on the high ground and you can't stop us, is no longer possible. So how do they adapt? They say, well, I see your triple tank and I raise you triple DPS. They pull out a Vora and a Willow. These are both great picks. Both have vertical mobility, which is important on Timber. Willow has very effective zoning tools, and Vora has percentile damage to burn down tanks faster. Great picks and really good adaptation from their original plan, going from we will sit on our backline on high ground and you can't pressure us to you can pressure us, but you'll just get farmed if you push through our zoning tools. Very good adaptation. I like it. Spicy. At this point, blue has 2 picks left, and they have just pivoted from running at the enemy backline to now saying, oh hey, well they only have 1 tank. Let's just win point. So blue takes a Victor, who has solid rage damage and is pretty uncontested by the enemy DPS. Only the Shaw can really duel him from the high grounds, and Vic being hit scan does have the advantage there. And blue finishes up with a Furia. Solid pick, can heal from anywhere on the map, has the best ult in the game. So red team sees this and realizes, oh hey, they're just going to try and cap. We need to prevent this. Now here is the spicy part, as if these drafts weren't already spicy enough. Red finishes off with a Tyra, who ends up going Burn Monster. That leaves them with this draft. No tank, no point presence, but an insane amount of zoning and area denial. Their win condition is basically stacking AoE effects around a single enemy, getting that quick pick, and then snowballing and winning the fight fast. Blue finishes with this draft. A bit more balanced, Ruckus to dive, Khan to hold space, and Nando to cap. Victor and Furia just holding hands on high ground, denying the Vora from diving in, while Khan stops squishies from walking at them. Blue wants a long fight, since red can't contest point effectively, and red wants to win fast. Roll over the tanks, get the picks, and then drop your Saris on point and zone. Now we get into the match, and the solution from blue is pretty easy. Red drafted this push me, I dare you comp. So blue can just say, I'm good, and just sit on the point with their tanks holding both flank routes, letting the Vic free fire from high ground at the enemy. I'm not going to go fight by fight. This is a drafting breakdown, not a match breakdown. But blue eventually wins, capping 3 times, failing the push twice, and converting the third push for the 4-2 win. Red's comp was strong, but relied too heavily on blue making mistakes and pushing into them. If blue didn't make those mistakes, they had no way to adapt and start applying pressure. Blue comp had the advantage of playing both slow, by sticking a tank in each of the 3 lanes and holding, or playing fast by popping the Fury ult and having Khan Ruckus just run at the enemy. And there you have it. I know drafting is something people see a lot and don't really put like a ton of thought into, so I wanted to shine some light on how much drafting can impact the game, how much thought goes into it at higher levels of play, and also talk about what team comps want to do, what their win conditions are. I hope you enjoyed, and as always, I hope you learned something. This match is from my live stream over at twitch.tv/nada_llama, where I stream nightly at 8 EST, 8 p.m. Eastern. You can also join my Discord from the link in the description. Hope to see you there. Peace.